Today, we're going to be covering a lot of information about how to reinvest your distributions properly. So, if that interests you and you want to know what to do with your portfolio or the possibilities of it, stay tuned. All right, so first things first, are you using your distributions wrong? Most investors focus way too much on the yield but ignore what happens after they get paid. So, the yield trap, you're constantly chasing high yields without a reinvestment strategy, is like earning money with nowhere to grow. The missing piece is what you do with the distributions that matters more than how much you receive. This decision can make or break your portfolio growth over time. Income is step one. What you do with it is really everything. So honestly, it's true. You can chase like 40, 50, 60% yields, but that's going to get you nowhere other than NAV erosion. And also, if you ever panic sell once you have unrealized losses and you realize them, then you're going to also lose contribution room in your RRSP and TFSA and whatever other account you're using. So the freedom lies in your hands. You have to decide how you want to distribute your amount that you get from your covered call ETFs every month, which is just your distributions. You can reinvest it fully, you can reinvest it partially, you can spend it all as well. So it really depends on what kind of growth period that you're at. Each choice leads to a completely different financial future. My recommendation is that if you're young, you should just let your portfolio grow and reinvest all of it. That way, it's going to be a snowball effect, and eventually, before you know it, you're going to have a really large portfolio that provides you a ton of income every month in the future. And if you are open to reinvesting all of it, one of the things that you can set up in your portfolio automatically with your bank or broker is DRIP. All right, so it's a dividend reinvestment plan. It automatically buys more shares for you when there's enough that's earned from your distributions for that same ETF of yours. So your distributions are automatically used to purchase additional shares of the same ETF. No manual work required. You set it once and forget it. The process runs automatically every single month and it compounds your portfolio. You stay fully invested. Also, if you're with a bank that charges fees for buying shares, then those fees will be waived because DRIP is automatic and you literally don't have to do anything. It will grow on autopilot. So we're going to go over the pros and cons of DRIP. So DRIP, the pros are effortless compounding. It's literally compounding without you doing anything. No timing decisions, and it builds shares consistently. So your portfolio is constantly growing in the background while you work, while you do whatever. Cons is you have no control over the price that you buy at. You always have to reinvest in the same stocks that you purchased, and you have no flexibility, right? You constantly have to distribute just accordingly to the stocks that you bought. Whereas if you were investing yourself, you can take all of your distributions and dump it onto just one covered call ETF if you wanted to. And option two here is manual reinvesting, which is honestly what I prefer because I have more control over my shares, but it is a bit more work. So let's see what this slide says here. So you can collect the distributions as cash, you choose when to reinvest, you buy when prices are lower. Keep in mind that this might not be an option because you might be in a bull market, so there might not be an opportunity to buy lower. But during market dips, it's really nice to have that extra control. You can adjust for your portfolio allocation, so you can redirect distributions to rebalance or add new positions. This is really important. You do want to keep a certain amount of balance in your portfolio. Otherwise, if one thing weighs a lot and it goes down all of a sudden, it's going to bring your whole portfolio down and it might, crush your portfolio. Like you might make some silly decisions after. Manual reinvesting is best for active investors, those who enjoy managing their portfolio and making strategic decisions, and people who want control. So, if you want more control, but you are also ready to put in a little bit more work and be actively involved in the process, then I would recommend manual reinvesting. So, as I mentioned earlier, the best thing to do at the early stage is to 100% reinvest, right? If you're young, if you're below 30, even potentially below 40, I would strongly recommend that you 100% reinvest your distributions. If you start spending, your portfolio isn't going to grow as fast. Yes, it could be nice. You could be paying for your child's tutoring lessons or whatever it may be. You could be paying for your travels, but it is much nicer when you do have a big chunk of money coming in. So it's something to think about. I strongly recommend that in the early stages, it is 100% best to reinvest. So another approach that you can take is doing the 40% spend and 60% reinvest. This, I believe, is better when you do it later on when you have a bit of a portfolio built up. You enjoy the fruits of your investments now, travel, dining experiences for 40%, and then you put in 60% to continue growing that portfolio. This is best for people already generating income and semi-retired lifestyle seekers. So in summary, how does this impact your portfolio? Well, if you're reinvesting 100% of it, you're going to see the fastest growth, highest compounding, and your income will build quickly. 60%, it's going to be slower growth. It's a more balanced lifestyle, but you're still compounding and your portfolio is still growing. And then 0%, you're just spending all of your distributions. You're not going to get any growth. Your income will stay flat and it's more lifestyle focused. So here are the biggest mistakes that investors make. They spend everything too early, so they use 100% of their distributions. They chase the income without growing capital. So they're chasing things like yield max, trying to find like high yield, 50, 60% annual yield covered call ETFs. And they're ignoring compounding, so they don't see that the result comes by staying invested and then reinvesting all of those contributions. All right, so now time to ask you, what do you do with your distributions? Do you drip? Do you invest manually? Do you do a hybrid approach? Or do you spend all of it and just enjoy yourself? Let me know what you do below in the comments. If you enjoyed, please comment, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.